It has been an unusual set of circumstances that have led to my association with the Canadian Breast Cancer Foundation. In fact, the last 3 years have kind of been one large set of unusual circumstances. My mom started me in music lessons when I was very young, dragging all of us kids, kicking and screaming, to every violin lesson, piano lesson, singing lesson that Medicine Hat, where I grew up, offered. The majority of our childhood was spent practicing, rehearsing, playing in bands, orchestras, quartets. We took private lessons, theory classes, everything you could imagine. And Mom always said, "Someday you're going to thank me." And I would never tell her, but she was right. So I ended up spending my entire teen years basically working and planning for my musical career, and my original plan was to go to McGill University for music. And then 2 weeks before I was about to leave, I tried out for this TV show that you might have heard of. So the next little while was a real whirlwind with an album and video and a tour, and I was on top of the world. And then after finishing a 65-show tour, I headed right back into the studio to work on my second album so I could have it out for that summer. But I guess that wasn't the plan, though. On February 21st, I got a phone call, and it was my mom. And she told me she had breast cancer. And at first, all I heard was cancer. But over the next few months, I did a lot of reading and researching. Being a young, single guy, I thought I knew everything there was to know about breasts. But apparently not. I tried for the next few months to keep going. I tried to be in the studio constantly and keep my mind occupied. I told myself it couldn't be that serious, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't focus, and I couldn't work. And all I thought about was how I should be at home. I knew that the nature of the industry I was in meant taking any long amount of time out could be very detrimental. But still, here I was, the career opportunity of a lifetime, and I was considering going home at the most crucial time. I remember the nights laying awake, wondering would the fans still be supportive if I took time off, and it was so hard to leave something that I wanted so badly. But I knew what I had to do, so I packed up my stuff and flew back home. And when I walked in the front door, it all became very real. It was the first time I had seen my mom bald, and she didn't look like Demi Moore. Last summer was the first for a lot of things, actually. It was the first time I'd ever felt real fear. I caught a glimpse of a world without my parents, and it really scared me. It was also the first time I saw my dad cry. It was also the first time in the past few years that we just slowed down and spent time together as a family. We spent time with Mom in the hospital, helping her out around the house, giving her needles, letting her know when her wig had shifted a little. It was like old times, and we were family again. Finally, after 4 months of surgery and chemo, Mom started doing much better. Slowly, her nag factor increased by about 100%, and we knew she was getting back to her usual self. So I decided it was time to go back to Toronto and finish my album, and Mom was behind me all the way. So fast forward a little, because of her amazing treatment, my mom was able to be there for my album release just a few weeks ago, and I know I've sold at least one album. She was also there for my first live show, which was great, and cancer no longer consumes all of our thoughts. We've learned to live with cancer, learned to live with a little more uncertainty in our lives. But because of that, we laugh a little more, we definitely cry a little more, and enjoy each other just a little bit more. I don't know the technical stuff, and I'm not up on the latest research and statistics. I'm just a kid from Medicine Hat, Alberta, that knows how much the work of this foundation has changed my life. And I want to thank them, and I want to thank you for coming out and supporting this cause. There is always hope, and hope is what this foundation and this amazing day gives to all of us. So thank you very much.